My company helps students get into medical school. We are a team of 4 people full-time and roughly 30 doctors who work as our teachers or mentors. In the last few years, we have delivered roughly 80% of all of our services and courses in person. When COVID hit, there were 2 main adaptations that we took on. The first one was the creation and the launch of our e-learning platform, and the second one was the transformation of all of our in-person classes into live online classes. The first step in bringing this project to fruition was to get behind one project together as a team. As a startup, we always have 10, 20 ideas, projects that are slowly being built by 1 or 2 team members that are working on it a few hours a week. So the e-learning platform wasn't a new idea. It is something that we had discussed, thought about as one of 10 or 20 potential things that we could do in the coming year or coming 2 years. We also had many other projects, and it was very important that as a team, we took the time to brainstorm and discuss which projects we want to not carry on, either because they are too costly, too risky, maybe they do not have proof of concept, and which project do we all put ourselves behind and make the bet on for the next few months. So we spent 2 to 3 days full-time thinking, brainstorming, strategizing, and making sure that everybody was heard and that we were all in it together. Once we agreed that the e-learning project was the one we were going to move forward with, the next step was to find partners. When it came to choosing the developers, we tried to keep the risk as low as possible. We went for very qualified, with proof of concept, proof of skill, proof of project developers, as well as with recommendations. Once that choice was made, we all worked on this project day and night, 7 days a week for 2 months. And at the end of the 2 months, I'm very pleased to say that the e-learning platform was launched for testing with the first 30 to 40 users. And 2 to 3 weeks after that, it was launched to the public. Within 1 month of release, it had 1,000 users, which represents roughly 5% of all applicants to medical school in the UK. Now, the second steps in adapting our business to online was the courses that we deliver in person. They had to be transformed to live online with a teacher through Zoom or video camera. There were a few challenges in doing this, but the first step that we took in making this happen was completely transforming the offer, transforming the curriculum. That required thinking about each part of the course that we teach, each section of the course, if you may say, and thinking who will be the best content designer, the best person to develop new content that is adapted to online delivery. We did a lot of research on tools, how to make it interactive, how to have quizzes, how to make sure that participants can make this a better experience than in person. So the combination of the research on the tools, work on making it interactive, and individual assigned to various parts of the course to redesign it completely for online delivery is what took us a month to change our in-person courses to full online delivery curriculum. The curriculum was changed 70%. We filmed ourselves delivering the course to a camera. We created a whole load of training material that our tutors could use to train themselves in their own time and very fast. There were a lot of challenges that we faced when trying to implement all of this. The first challenge I would like to mention is all the things that needed adapting that we did not think about. I told you before the things we did think about was the e-learning platform, the changing of the curriculum, making it interactive, the training for the tutors, but there was plenty that we had not thought about. For example, students find 8 hours of Zoom a lot more tiring than 8 hours in a classroom. And so very quickly we noticed this and had to adapt again. We were the first company to change our offer as well as the product. So instead of offering the course a whole day on a Saturday and a whole day on a Sunday as the only option, we now began to offer the course 2 hours a day from Monday to Thursday as well. So some students could choose to do 2 hours at a time, which they may find easier to focus for Zoom or online video learning, while other students who are busy during the week and tired from school and prefer the weekend option full day could maintain that option. Now it seems very obvious to think, yeah, that's a great idea. It makes sense that some students would prefer to break it up. It makes sense that Zoom is more tiring than in person. But when we started, nobody has ever done this. Our courses have been running in the weekend for 8 years, and it's always been normal. Every competitor has run their courses in the weekend. And so the idea of changing that is what was the challenge, coming up with these ideas, constantly making new changes that now have become obvious. We started recording all of our courses. We realized that there was a lot of value to it. In the past, one of the more experienced tutors would always be in the room when a course was delivered, but with online delivery, that was not possible anymore. So we had to change a lot of our procedures and process in the business beyond the way that we taught. The second challenge that we had was related to tech. Between the developers and the central team, we are very, very tech focused. But our teachers are doctors. And having trained as a doctor myself, I can tell you that doctors and technology, for the most part, do not go hand in hand. So the vast majority of our teachers found the tech very difficult. They were not worried about the new curriculum, what to teach and how to teach it. They are selected because they are very good teachers. However, the added stress of how to record on Zoom, how to make sure you can see all of your students while sharing your slides. How are you going to be able to see your notes, but the students don't see that you're reading your notes? There's a lot of little tech elements that were very stressful for the tutors. And when having 30 different tutors, having to make sure that we take time with each of them to train them and reassure them and actually accompany them the first 1 or 2 times that they teach is another challenge that we face. The other challenge that was very significant and is more related to the central team was the workload. I alluded earlier to working day and night, and I wasn't really exaggerating. And we were all committed, we were all willing to do it, and we all knew it was short term and for something we believed in. But actually, 2 to 3 months is a long time. It's the same time while around us, people are getting sick, some people are dying. The news is full of difficult news for everybody in every country, and the morale of the team took a hit. This is also the same time where, because we had very minimal revenue, everyone in the team needed to do some sacrifice financially as well. So if you combine the increased workload, the sacrifice that is personal for each person's life when they're isolating from friends and family, the financial sacrifice, and the uncertainty, is this product even going to work in the next few months? That combined was difficult on the team. A lot of my time was spent with the team. We organized games online once a week. We took the time to make sure we had at least 1 or 2 conversations one-on-one with different team members throughout the week. I took some time to make sure that every single team member was okay. We made the working hours completely flexible. The total quantity of hours had increased, but it was perfectly okay to get up in the middle of the afternoon, go for a walk, go some shopping, come back. We all worked when it was convenient for us, when we had the mind space for it. And actively promoting that flexibility, I believe, was necessary. But again, it took a little bit of time to realize how necessary it was and to set it up. The overall impact of what we did on the business was fantastic. I think one of the main reasons for that is because although we've always thought about moving online for live courses and for e-learning, as any business that wants to move to deliver these sort of services online, one of the biggest challenges is convincing your clients to take you up on it, to sign up for your live online course instead of your in-person class. There is a stigma with live courses. Students feel that it's going to be boring, that they're going to be sitting there just listening to a voice over a PowerPoint. And unless they've tried it and they can see that it's interactive and fun and they're learning a lot and it's in a small group, it's very hard to convince somebody to pick live online instead of in person when they have the option. The fact that there was no option, any student who wanted our UCAT course, our BMAT course, our personal statement course, our interview course, they had to take it live online. the in-person option was not available, and as a company, we couldn't be blamed for not making it available because we were respecting the law, the regulations. And that gave us almost an opportunity. It meant that for once, we launched this and our student was going to try it. They were going to give us a chance to switch online and then decide if they like it. And actually, the response has been phenomenal. If you think about the first few months when COVID hit, first 3 to 4 months, it was very hard on us as a team, financially, the uncertainty, etc. But if you compare the last 2 to 3 months this year compared to the same 2 to 3 months in 2019, before we heard of COVID, we are doing better as a company this year. And that is because we have better reach online. We have more clients internationally. We have different clients. We can reach clients in remote cities, in remote regions. And all of those benefits came from moving from in-person to online directly. The plans for the future is a very difficult question. As I just said, I do believe that the e-learning platform and the live online courses really did work for us as a team and for the clients. The feedback, the reviews, the students, they tell us that they love the course, they learned so much. Now they're thinking it's really convenient that they can split up the course in a couple of hours every evening rather than having to do a whole day. They're also thinking it's convenient doing it from home. So, there are a lot of advantages. It is giving access to people who wouldn't have had access. On the other hand, saying that we're not going to go back in person, I think is a little bit premature. In a business, if other competitors, other courses are being offered locally in person in the future, I'm not sure if the market is ready to commit to picking an online version versus an in-person version. And if we want to be competitive, we have to do in part what is best for learning and in part what the market demands. So we would like to wait and see if the students are continuing the trend of being happy with the e-learning or being happy with live learning, or if people are actually going to really, really want to go back to in-person and that this will become predominant again. So I would say that we have set things up in a way that we can remain long-term stable fully online. However, we haven't forgotten how to do it in person. We love the in-person interaction, and I don't think it's possible for me to really say if we will go back in person or not until I can watch the market to see if the market is ready for a full transformation online.